Hello dear chess friends and welcome to our new video. Now I would rather want to show you some game from recently finished European Club Cup, which was held in Struga in Northern Macedonia. Well, in the match, the best Macedonian club, Alkaloid, and former European champion, played against Lund's ASK. On the board, number 5, Alexandr Predke with white pieces met Isak Storme, who led black pieces. And very interesting is the moment Alexandr Predke decided to delay his castling in order to launch strong attack on opponent king using his h-file and h-pawn actually to open that h-file. Let's start now with the game. You'll see what happened. After d4, knight f6 was played and c4 e6. Well, initial moves were normal, knight c3, bishop b4 and e3. After e3, black decided to go for short castling and bishop d3, where black has two common moves, this d5 and c5, or maybe delaying strike with b6. Black decided to play c5. Of course, point of all Indian openings, of all Indian defenses, is to castle instantly, allowing opponent to build strong or relatively strong pawn center and then to crush that pawn center with pawn strikes. Okay, knight ge2 supporting knight and the pawn same time, and black went for move d5. Idea of d5 is to finish development smoothly and definitely to crush white pawn center. C takes, and c takes, all that is very well known. E takes, and black decided to play against white isolated pawn on d4 by taking knight d5. And a3, putting some dilemma in front of black, to keep the bishop or to take it, or to take the knight on c3. And if take the knight, how to take? Normally black would rather move bishop back or maybe knight c3. I think in that moment taking with the bishop on c3 would not be good, because that will just help white to strengthen his pawn center, to put support to pawn d4, and after castling to organize maybe dangerous attack with that so-called Horvitz bishops on opponent king. Well, after a3, matter of style to take with knight or move bishop back, black decided to move his bishop back, bishop e7. And bishop c2, bishop goes to the so-called ambush. Maybe it can go to b3, but of course main idea is to put queen d3, setting strong battery on that diagonal. Now black goes back, and that is already dubious decision. Knight wastes his time, knight d5 and knight f6, that cannot be good. Black should just ignore white threat, and after that and queen d3, g6, now h4 I think would not be so dangerous, because after that black has enough counterplay due to amazing move e5. That is amazing move, amazing response, which gives black immediately some initiative after possible move bishop f5. White would be practically forced to retreat the queen, avoiding that threat, playing queen g3 with idea to play maybe h5, queen h2. Sorry, queen h2 of course. But after e takes d, there is double edge position with mutual chances. After knight f6, white has enough time to organize whatever he wants, and that is bishop g5, attacking the knight which covers h7 spot. g6, rook d1, and key moment in the game. Looks strange, but b6 is terrible mistake. Here there is some forest line, proving that black still is not in huge problems, but he must play extremely precisely in that moment. e5 should be played. And there is some forced line giving white edge. For instance, d takes e, queen d3, rook takes, knight g4. Here, knight e5 won't be good, because after rook e3, you can check that black definitely loses some material. Okay, knight g4, bishop e7, knight e7, f4, and here bishop f5. White must retreat with a rook, taking, knight e3, but now after rook d2, black must not take, because after king f2, knight h4, rook d7, white will once again get material back. White will once again get extra material, to be precise. After knight moves, pawn b7 will fall, and white will be pawn up with winning position. Extra pawn with no weaknesses, no compensation for black, that is winning for white. So what you do? After bishop f5, rook d2, black has some possibility. After rook a8 to go for some compensation, where after g3 white keeps some edge. Well, after knight c4, let me show you, rook d8 for instance, still knight b2 is the threat, but due to active possibility of knight e4, this and probably king f2, I think white will keep advantage, or maybe it is more precise to castle to avoid some checks. There are possibility of knight d6, knight f6, rook b1, and better majority for black 2 against 1 pawn versus white majority 5 versus 4. Here is not significant positional factor. White will keep some plus. So what happened after rook d1? Black didn't play e5. Black played b6, which is terrible mistake. So I suggest you to pause the video to find the winning move for white. Of course, not immediately winning, but definitely and accordingly to engine, that move will bring white win in the as a final result. h4, my dear chess friends. Idea is to play h5 with or without capturing on f6, opening h file, and to play for a mate after queen h3. Knight d5, black wanted to escape by exchanging that bishops. White normally keeps bishops on the board to get important tempo after rook a8, after rook e8 to strike with h5. What you do as black? Knight c3, delaying resignation, but of course white neglects it. Just g. H takes g. Of course now if black takes, I show you, that is so beautiful mate. King f7, and after that there will be the mate. Queen g6. So after h takes g6, black must take, but now queen c3. Very important move, gaining tempo, attacking the knight, and transferring queen to h3. After queen d5, queen h3 here could be played, but white played rather queen g3. I do not know the point. I do not know another point than except from bishop g6. I think bishop g6 is the idea. So after bishop d6, bishop f4, knight f4, another one important tempo. Finally, white queen got h file with the mate. Well, very interesting game. Everything started with black bad decision to retreat knight f6 in that moment, to overprotect h7, and that gave white strong impulse to attack. Finally, b6 was too slow. Black doesn't have simply time to organize that fianchetting bishop, because white simply strikes first with h4. So white prepared castling, but he didn't castle, and that helped him to hold that amazing victory. Try to use similar resources in your future games. Try to find such finesses in your games. If opponent delays castling, maybe he would be able to use rook some other way, as Alexandr Predke managed to do in that game. That would be all for that video, my dear chess friends. Thanks for following us. If you don't follow us, follow our video channel. We are here to go better with you and to help you to go better, actually. Thanks for all your likes. Thanks for your dislikes. Thanks for your suggestions, analysis, comments, and critics also. See you soon with new material. That would be all for that video. Bye bye.